I got the bloodlust. Me too. I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror. This is episode 219 of the program. Tonight we are revisiting a classic of the 90s, The People Under the Stairs. Wes Craven's best movie? We're going to talk about it. Who's going to talk about it? Me, Amy, your fearless leader, and Jamie,
me,
my lovely, talented co-host. Hello, friend.
Hi.
Hi. Aren't you glad we got to watch this?
I'm so glad we got to watch this.
It was so much fun. It has probably been 10 years or so for me.
Yes, at least.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to start talking about it. Welcome, Jamie. Welcome, listeners. But first, our roundtable question. This one's from a friend of the podcast, Becky. Hello, friend. And her question is, what is scarier in movies? The basement or the attic? Is it the same in real life? Also, are there any iconic scenes you can think of? Well, there are lots of them in this, which is what made me think about it. Yeah, it's a three-parter. So, Jamie, your answers, please.
Okay, well, instinctively, is that the word?
Instinctively,
yeah, interesting. I want to say basement because that's where centipedes hang out.
I agree.
But I feel like that would be my only reason, because for some reason I find attics creepier.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know why.
I find basements creepier in life and in movies.
I feel like attics seem harder to escape from.
That's true. Attics do not usually have their own exit the way that some basements
usually
do.
just has stairs up or like little windows that could potentially, like, you'd have to either jump out of an attic.
That's true.
Or somehow get pushed down those things. I think it's more the idea of like the foldable stairs going up and then you being completely trapped. For some reason,
that could be in the basement or the attic.
Foldable stairs?
Yeah. Oh, you mean you're talking about
that's the only kind of attic that I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Are like the pull down stairs attics.
Okay. I thought you meant that like the stairs like in this movie.
Oh, no.
Fold down.
No. Like you pull down.
Because those I don't
opening.
think exist.
I mean, I'm sure they do somewhere, but
do
not
you have
in
an
like
attic
a
like
normal
that?
house. I have an attic. It's in the garage. But it's one that you just open the thing. Yeah. And then you put the ladder and I don't want to go up there. I'll tell you what's creepier to me than both of those things, and that's a crawl space. And that's what I have. And you almost couldn't pay me enough to go under it.
I was never in the attic of my old house that I lived in for 10 years. I never went in that attic. It had a little opening in the garage and it had a little opening in my bedroom. And no, because it had that blown in like loose insulation and anything could be in there.
Anything.
And I'm not scared of rats at all.
Oh.
But anything could be up there.
And
not knowing what it is worse. I don't have a basement at my house now. I have a slab, which makes me very happy. It was part of the reason I bought this house. Mm-hmm. Because basements creep me out. When I was a kid, probably my biggest fear was running up my basement stairs. I always felt like something was chasing me.
It was right behind you.
Mm-hmm. I always had to run super fast up my stairs, even when I was a teenager.
Yeah, maybe because like the house I grew up in, our basement was super cool.
My basement was also finished, Jamie. I was just a chicken. The back of it wasn't. The back of it was more... I still have nightmares about the back of my basement sometimes. And my grandma's basement.
Huh.
The few nightmares I can remember anymore.
Well, the few nightmares I can remember from my childhood are almost exclusively directly linked somehow to this movie, apparently.
That's very interesting, and I'm excited to talk about that. We also both had a shared experience where we remembered something that wasn't in the movie.
But we like seem to remember it in the exact same way.
Yes, we do. And so I think it has a lot to do with... I think it's the Texas Chainsaw effect. We'll talk about it. I was thinking about like iconic scenes from basements and attics, and this one is one of the... This has some of the best basement shit in it.
Oh, yeah.
Of
Without
anything.
a doubt. I don't know. I can't think of another movie that utilizes a basement space in quite this way that is
I can think of one.
such...
The Silence
What?
of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah, shit. You're
Think
right.
about the basement in that
No, of
place.
course. Yeah, of course. I mean, there's a fucking pit.
It has a well, yeah.
It has a well. It has a bunch of
well.
creepy mods. Yeah. So, okay. There's two.
What about attic? I thought of one. Well, first of all, there's a Knife Point horror story. I think it's called Attic. That is quite creepy, about two brothers that are estranged, and one of them insists that their house had an attic, or that their aunt's house that they used to stay at, and the other one says, no, it didn't, you're crazy. Mm-hmm. And when they get there, after the aunt dies, they find that, yes, there was no attic. Yes, we have no bananas. But then they find that the place across the street has an attic, and there's something up there.
Oh.
It's very creepy.
Interesting.
And an interesting one of his stories. But then I also thought of Hereditary and the attic scene in that.
Yeah.
And finding Grandma's body, which had been moved from the house. And then when Gabriel Byrne finds it and thinks
her
that...
hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot happening
too.
in that attic up there.
Mm-hmm. But I can't think of too many others except for like flowers in the attic.
Well,
that was a pretty big fucking
movie,
attic.
I can think of that the Southern... Oh my God,
the Southern
Brady
Book
Hendricks
Club
book. Yeah. The scene where she's like crawling in the attic trying to find evidence that he's killed
Oh yeah,
that woman,
and she finds that box, and then she has to like hide.
And it's
up there
like all of the old clothes, and it just spends so long describing the things that are crawling on her and crawling,
and her having to stay still, and
something crawling into her ear and getting like all through her hair. And I listened to that on audiobook, like both times I read it, and well, so I didn't read it, listened to it, whatever. But both times I was like, this scene like skeeves me out real bad.
That was
like
a
I can
creepy part.
feel it. So I get that it's not a movie, but that would be very hard to lay
No,
still.
you're right. I can picture that from reading
and
it.
just the
still.
smell of it and all the cobwebs and like the thought of you can't move at all, but there is absolutely a bug that you can hear making its way further and further into your ear canal. Oh, yeah,
that's creepy.
It was very effective for me.
We definitely recommend that book. If you haven't, before it inevitably gets made into a movie, you should watch it.
I recommend all of his just because they're such enjoyable reads.
And to listen to him in audiobook, especially.
100%. Some of the better ones. Ooh, excuse me.
So listeners, what do you think? Attics versus basements. I was thinking about Don't Breathe in his basement too.
Yeah.
And there's always also Barbarian with these like weirdly huge basements.
That was less a basement and more like an underground series of tunnels.
Yes,
like,
it sure was.
I mean,
Sure
at what point do you stop being a basement and a cellar and start being like a city underground?
That's true. Well, I mean, that same could be said for the house in Silence of the Lambs. That basement was enormous.
Well, yes.
They do feel bigger, though, I guess. Some basements are really big. I don't know.
Ours was. I'm trying to think if...
You do have a really big basement. Doesn't it have like a cool like restaurant booth in it and stuff?
It has a bar.
Yeah.
But like an older style. It's from the, 60s, 50s, 60s. It has that. It has an elevator because the people before my parents were in a wheelchair. And it had...
Does it work?
Not anymore.
Ah, too bad.
It did when we were younger. But it's still there, the bottom part.
Oh, you know what's another creepy... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and then all we did down there was like roller skate. It had a sweet sound system and like disco light system. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was delightful.
We also used to roller skate in my basement before it got finished.
Great times.
I forgot what I was going to say.
You can say there's also...
It was something about... The Haunting of Hill House, the series. There's some creepy shit that happens in the basement in that.
Mm-hmm. True.
Anyway, that's our round
so there's
table.
lots of examples.
Let us know where you stand. Jamie's an attic person and I'm a basement person, evidently. Maybe one is more common than the other. I would guess it'd be basement, but who knows?
I mean, yeah, I guess it depends. I don't know.
My grandma also had a root cellar in her basement, which was...
Now a root cellar is something
That's
that
creepy.
can be creepy.
Yeah. It was creepy with the dirt floor
The
and
creepy
stuff.
basement in Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I think the answer is clear.
It seems clear. I like to be a contrarian.
Yeah, it's true. We know this about you. All right. That has been our roundtable, like I said. So let's start talking about the people under the stairs. I cannot wait.
Who are they? What do they want?
Who are they? What do they want? Where did they come from? What did they do? Tell us all about it, please.
I will. This was written and directed by Wes Craven. It stars Brandon Quinton Adams, Everett McGill, and Wendy Robbie. It's rated R. Runtime, hour 42 minutes. Released November 1st, 1991. Oh, fun times. Mm-hmm. Rotten Tomato scores currently sitting at 70% for critics, 70% fresh, and 59% from audience. Bunch of dum-dums.
Everybody is an idiot.
Yep. It's currently available to rent various places online.
You know what I found out when I was doing a little research is it was announced yesterday that The People Under the Stairs is getting a 4K Blu-ray release in April.
I thought you were going to say a remake, and I was going to say I'm not interested in that, but I am interested in a 4K Blu-ray release.
Yeah, it's not going to have any new special features, but the 2015 Blu-ray that came out has commentary by like Wes Craven and some of the actors and stuff, and I've heard it's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah. So what's it about? It takes place in LA in a bad neighborhood, and this little boy whose name is Fool, he's named after the tarot card because his sister likes to do them. He's called Fool, and they are about to get kicked out of their home because they're like 3 days late on their rent, and their mom is dying of cancer, so they don't really have a lot of money coming in. And so Fool, who is like 13, agrees to help two guys. One of them is Ving Rhames, looking very cool and very early 90s.
Yep.
He agrees to help them break into their weirdo landlord's home, which is this big old sprawling cool house, to find these gold coins that they're rumored to have. Now, this landlord is real weird. And so once they get inside, they find out that this is not an ordinary house and that they are stuck inside and cannot get out. Not only that, but there's more than just the...
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, that's just the tip. It's more than just the brother and sister living there. There's a lot of other people, and they are living in the basement and in the walls. So that's what it's about. This is a weirdly... It's categorized as a black comedy. And it is...
Is it really?
Yes. And it is funny in a lot of scenes, but it's also real dark. Real dark.
Wow, that's kind of shocking.
I know.
But,
it's based on a story that Wes Craven heard about from 1978. It was a real-life news story about burglars that broke into a house, and when the police came, the burglars were gone, but what they had found was children that were locked up inside of their rooms by their parents, and they weren't allowed to go inside, kind of like the Turpin house, the house of horrors. So Wes Craven was inspired to write this after learning about that. And he cast the two leads, other than the child star that's in it and Ving Rhames. He cast the two leads based on their roles in Twin Peaks, which had come out the previous year.
And I love that.
Yeah, it's Big Ed and Norma from Twin Peaks, if you are a fan. Big Ed and
Norma? Nadine?
Big Ed. Wait, not Norma. Norma is the one who owns the diner. Nadine, I'm sorry.
Nadine.
Yeah, not Norma. Not Peggy Lipton. Certainly not. I don't know that she could quite be as batshit as Wendy Robbie in this.
Nope.
But what did we think about it, Jamie?
I loved it.
We both grew up with this. We should probably preface by saying.
We should. So we did grow up with this. It was clearly one that we both watched in our youth also. I can remember, this is one I can also clearly remember seeing on the shelf at Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah.
I know I was allowed to rent it because that's when I saw it. Although I will say watching it this time, it's like, I don't know that this is a movie that a young child should watch.
No, it's a hard R.
It really is. And there were some parts that were like really intense.
There's not a ton of gore, there's not a ton of violence shown on screen, except for like a lot of shooting. But
yeah,
there is a good amount of set piece gore, I guess.
And there's a lot of like, maybe that's why as a kid that didn't all set in or it didn't register, but like there's a lot of like suggested stuff. I mean, even just between the mom and the daughter, there's like some weird, very extreme like abuse stuff that I don't remember, focusing on when I was younger. I remember recognizing that it was bad.
For the girl.
Yeah, like, this is obviously not a good scene, but I feel like being older and looking through it with a different lens, I'm like, oh, that hits in a much harsher
that part
way.
Definitely when she's making her daughter get in that scalding bath, that was a pretty disturbing scene that I don't remember really from watching it as a kid. Probably because it's not as insane as some of the other scenes, but it is really disturbing and really dark in a way that you don't imagine in a black comedy, I guess.
Right. I wouldn't. But I mean, I think this movie holds up from 91 till now. I think like one of the biggest reasons I love this is because the story itself is so batshit crazy, and unique. It's not a cookie cutter sort of horrific story. It's really kind of all over there, but everyone so earnestly plays the characters, the roles that they're given, that it works so well. And it creates this like just really weird situation that's happening in the middle of this neighborhood that also has this sort of rich history to it. Like there's been things happening to sort of lead up to all of this that they don't delve a ton into, but it's peppered. It's just, I think this movie is really well done. And
it's so well done. And it creates such a real place.
Yes. And the setting and the set pieces of it. And once they start to like move throughout the house, and I remember loving that part when I was a kid. Like that was like a fun adventure sort of thing, forgetting the fact that they're running away from being killed and then eaten.
But it gives like a Goonies kind of feel.
Yeah, but it felt exciting.
Like an adventure kind of thing.
There were secret passageways, and you could climb in, like you open a cupboard and then you just move a piece of wood and then you go through it. Like as a kid and still as an adult, like that's fun.
Yes.
That's like a little adventure tale. And it has that, and that is nonstop throughout it for the most part. And it's used so well, you never feel like it's just recycling, like going down the same pathway in the hallway. It just seems like it is an endless labyrinth.
They definitely make the place, real labyrinthine and huge inside.
Yeah, and you just really, while you do, or at least I did anyways, like have a sense of the space that they're like working in and that they're acting within, it also just feels very vast, despite knowing that it's a basement under a house, or like it's the walls throughout the house.
Right.
You just realize like how big that room is. And we were talking like it definitely has H.H. Holmes like Murder Castle vibes.
For sure, with all the fake walls and the
doors
rooms
that shut and can't be opened, stairways
stairs that disappeared.
Change to a chute. Mm-hmm. I mean, Prince the dog goes down an incredibly long metal chute that's like straight up through the walls. And that was fun.
It makes you wonder about the whole, like, we see that, and we hear from the grandfather in this, a little exposition of how this family has been in the neighborhood for a really long time, and it used to be a funeral home, and so that can account for some of it. But you think about this family and each generation just getting weirder and weirder, and all the different improvements and the things that they do to the house, and it gives the house such a cool, ominous kind of life of its own. Yeah,
the house itself is absolutely a character in this.
And the house is a pretty famous Los Angeles house, evidently.
Okay.
It's very close to a lot of famous filming locations. And it was at the time, was owned by the maid from Gone with the Wind, Butterfly McQueen.
Oh, interesting.
And she was still living there at the time that this was filmed.
Well, how fun for her.
Yeah. So it's probably cool for her to see.
Sure.
I mean, now she's dead, but you know what I mean.
It was at one time fun for her to see that.
Yes. This was also described by Wendy Roby as the most fun she's ever had, which you can absolutely tell because the characters of man and woman or mommy and daddy, because they don't really have names in this, it's interesting to me because for the most part, everything is played very straight in this, except for those characters.
Except for them.
And Roach, I guess.
Roach just didn't have as much of a part to play as
you remembered?
I remembered. Mm-hmm. I remembered Roach being a much more involved and like present character.
Well, we would have resonated, or the child characters would have resonated more with us when we were kids. But then as we get older, I think that the mommy and daddy characters are the ones that become really interesting.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean,
also the fact that they call each other mommy and daddy is apparently a nod to the Reagans, Ron and Nancy.
Oh,
and
cool.
Then evidently having used to call them each other mommy and daddy. But it stands to reason because that's the other thing that I think makes this movie so cool is that it's so socially relevant. And especially from something to come out in 1991, that's pretty impressive. They weren't making movies this is like a Jordan Peele movie before Jordan Peele, basically. It's taken something that, it's a common fear and a common situation for a huge amount of an audience and turning it into a nightmare situation, turning it into a horror movie. And I think that's very smart. It's the first movie I can think of, the first horror movie, I mean, besides your Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, you don't see a lot of black protagonists in these movies. I mean, Wes Craven then went on to make Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy.
True.
So he's always kind of been pretty good about that. But a movie about gentrification and, capitalism, the evils of capitalism and white greed and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think people were expecting that and expecting it from Wes Craven in 1991. And it's interesting to me to see the Rotten Tomatoes score of this because I just don't see what is not to like. Did they find the balance of the humor and the horror to be weird? Was it too weird and kinky and subversive? I don't know.
But the kinky part of it, that to me is where the comedy hits perfectly.
And all the burn in hell stuff.
Yeah, it would just not be as successful, I don't think, with other actors. Because those two have such, I mean, we're also admittedly fans of Twin Peaks, but those two have such a strange, unusual chemistry anyways.
And they seem to just have fun together.
Yeah, you can tell in this movie, they are just going with everything.
Yeah, they seem to be having
They are pushing it, and she kills it. I mean, they both do great, but she is amazing. The first time you see him just put on
tearing around in the gimp suit,
and then start running around his house, how can you not laugh at that? It's so unexpected.
Just blowing holes in all of his walls. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she even says, makes a comment, go put on your suit or something like that. You're going hunting. It's all so nonsensical and silly, but also just weird enough that you feel apprehensive and uncomfortable by it. And the fact that you learn later on that they're brother and sister, and then obviously coming from a very long incestual family, so y'all are the most fucked up that there have been so far.
Yeah, their straight line family tree.
And it's just you just can't help but laugh at them. They just play it so goddamn well. I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't mean anything to me. And this is the prime example as to why. Because I feel objectively, as a fan of horror, as a fan of movies that can balance that sort of really dark, weird comedy with some pretty intense, suggestively violent scenes. Like, if you can't find something to appreciate in that, then I don't know that I care what your opinion is. You can say, like, I didn't like this movie, it wasn't for me. Like, sure, I respect that.
I can see it being too weird, maybe.
But to watch it and just be like, yeah, this doesn't work, this is a bad movie, I just do not, I don't buy that.
Same. I don't really get it.
It's a movie that stands so well on its own. It doesn't need sequels. It needs nothing. It ends in such... I don't even remember, obviously, as a kid, like, loving the ending as much. But the ending of this one, I was like, yep. We both were like, of course, that's what I expect. End better. Everything about this is so perfect.
It's such a great, like, hero's journey kind of story, too.
Yep. And that little kid, the actor who
Did you realize that that's the kid from The Sandlot?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love that movie, too.
Also, the girl in it, if y'all don't know this already, is Rayanne Graff from My So-Called Life, who is apparently a countess now.
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Not like now. She has been for quite some time.
Since like 2005. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I wondered where she was and tried to look her up.
Yeah, I think everyone was on top of their game.
Including Wes Craven.
Including Wes Craven when it comes to this movie. The
best Wes Craven movie.
I will agree with that.
I know a lot of people think Scream. A lot of people think Nightmare on Elm Street. This is my favorite by far.
Those are not bad movies, but to me, this one, it says a lot. It's topical.
It has the most to say of any of his movies.
And it's not even a message that's being in any way shoved down your throat, but it's in there and it's clear. But the movie itself and the shit that's happening and the story and just the story of these two crazy people, all of that is so interesting. It makes for such an enjoyable, interesting movie that has a beginning, like a climax, an end, a happy ending, and there's still some like lore. Fucked up stuff. 100%. Like,
yeah.
In my opinion, they did everything right with this one.
This is to me just about a perfect movie.
Yep.
And I think like the only Wes Craven movie that I think comes close to this is The Last House on the Left. Which is a very disturbing movie and doesn't have the comedy to lighten it. It's very bleak, but it also has a lot to say about society. And I think that this movie comes closer to approaching that kind of intensity than some of his other movies too.
Yeah,
and in a good way. But then he brings in the crazy campness and a child hero and stuff, and it lightens up the mood a little bit. But it's still got some dark stuff that I don't see in his other movies.
Well, yeah, because it's a different kind of dark. It's not some slasher that's like going through town killing people who can't answer like a horror movie question correctly. Like it's like societal real life darkness, and I think we've established more than a handful of times that like that is at least my jam.
Yes. And this really does a great job of nailing the way I think of it is like, I wrote it down. What did I say? It's like the black fear of white spaces, being unwelcome in them, being not knowing what kind of weird shit goes on inside of there, and the danger that you could get into stepping your toes into those spaces. I find that really interesting, and it's a similar feeling to Get Out. Which is why I think this movie has resonated so much with Jordan Peele. He was originally, for a while, gonna make a remake of this.
That's so funny. I was just gonna mention that because I remember reading that and thinking, I think that's like maybe the only director right now that I
think could do it.
I think could do it, and
he could nail humor.
It would be appropriate for remaking that particular movie.
Yes, more so than Candyman, I think. Which he produced. I wouldn't mind seeing a remake of this. Evidently, before he died in 2015, Wes Craven was adapting this as a series on Sci-Fi.
Oh, really?
Which would have been interesting. I don't know where they could have gone from there, but
I mean, sure, I'd be curious to see where that goes. It doesn't need it. It
doesn't need a thing. It's got a
perfect
great
little unit.
Yeah, wrapped up in a little neat bow.
Yep.
With such memorable performances. Everybody, even Roach and the creepy leader of the stair people, the under the stair people.
Yeah.
Everybody gives a great performance. Do you want to talk about how it traumatized us as children and how it has the Texas Chainsaw Massacre effect? There's a scene, listeners, in Texas Chainsaw Massacre where it's simulated a character is put onto a meat hook, but you never ever see the meat hook go into the character's skin. And yet, so many people, when they think back on that movie, have vivid memories of seeing that meat hook go through people's skin. And I think a similar thing happened when we watched this after not seeing it for a long time. Because we both had these memories of, well, why don't you describe it?
Well, my memory was of a scene where there's a fully flayed human body hanging over like a gross pit of sludge
goo.
And body goo, but like a fully flayed body, like,
and then being approached by all the underneath the stair people.
Yes.
And we both have that memory, and it is not in the movie. There is a scene with like partially flayed Ving Rhames.
It's not even flayed,
I guess,
at all. It's like,
no, it's just
partially
like
butchered.
Partially butchered Ving Rhames gets lowered in, but it's not as long of a scene as I remember, and it's not as graphic at all. But that was the one that always traumatized me as a kid.
Same here.
And it didn't even happen.
No.
It's crazy.
And I remember before we started, I was like, I'm in my head, like, I'm curious how the scene's going to look. Like, it's going to be, and it looked nothing like
my memories.
Well, that is weird.
Yeah. That's a fun little thing. And
it is a fun little thing.
What were you thinking about that you found that might be...
Oh, well,
it was like a
I
nightmare?
used to have a reoccurring, I probably talked about it before, but I used to have a reoccurring nightmare when I was a kid where I was crawling through the like vents, you know, like a series of vents up in the ceiling of like a mall or a very large like building complex. And I was being chased very vividly by Gamork from the Neverending Story. So watching this movie made me think that like, I feel like my little kid subconscious put the like weird labyrinth climbing through the walls, climbing around,
getting chased by
a big dog part in this movie, and combined that with my fear of Gamork from Neverending Story,
who almost looks like a Rottweiler. More like a wolf,
husky.
But...
yeah, like a wolf. But I mean, still of the canine family.
Yeah.
And I feel like, my brain just put those together and was like, we're going to have fun with this for a few years. I'm not going to tell you when, but I'm going to just drop this in every so often and we'll have a good time with it.
Stored in the memory banks.
Yep. So fun.
Speaking of the dog, this would definitely be a 5-star movie for me. However, they do kill the dog. And I liked her. She was so cute. Well, I guess. Prince. And I don't like seeing a puppy get stabbed.
No, you don't see it.
You kind of see it. You see Prince fading. I didn't like it.
It's fake.
I know, but still.
Yep, you got to stand by your...
For that reason and that reason alone, I rate this 4.5 stars.
Yeah, I rate it a full-on 5. It was just too fun. It's too fun.
I just love
it
so much.
And just so good. Just so arguably and objectively well made and well acted. We didn't even talk about the very end of the movie, which tickled. Also, the scene, I mean, now we're just kind of getting into like, I love the scene, this is a cool scene, but obviously go watch it if you haven't. It's totally worth it.
We very much recommend it.
Yeah,
it's like $3.99 to rent right now.
Yeah.
Or you could wait till April, I suppose, and get that 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah, or something. Just check it out.
If you haven't seen it, please watch it. Yeah. We're probably going to now talk some spoilers more so than we did before. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not really worried about them for a movie from 91.
I'm not either, but just in case you haven't seen it, you may want to turn off now.
Yes, fine. I was just going to say, the scene, like, towards the end when the people are let out of their little, like, pen, and their arms just start, like, busting through the walls to, like, grab at everyone. I loved that. it's just so good. And then it's funny to me that the people under the stairs all developed a very similar look. Which
zombie kind of weird.
Yeah, it said like the Beauty and the Beast guy look, or like Michael. Oh no, not Michael. What's his fucking name? That Meatloaf from his video I Would Do Anything for Love.
He doesn't have prosthetics on. They all look
I'm
like
pretty sure. Isn't there a part in that
makeup
in that video where he looks like that? I swear there is.
It's just how he looks.
Or that's just his face, whatever. But that's my memory of it.
They all have like weird Geico caveman makeup.
It's funny. But then you see, like, after there's like an explosion, Fool finds the treasure, which I don't know if we even mentioned that was like a part of it.
Yeah, there's gold.
Okay, yeah, they go to get this gold and stuff, and he finds this closet with gold and money, and then blows it up
so
that
much
he can
money.
blow up Daddy, and the money just goes shooting out of every window of the house, and of course, all of the neighborhood is standing in front because they know what's going on, so they're coming to like call him out on everything, and now they're all just grabbing money out of the sky.
Fuck yes, and then all the cavemen are wandering out like
to go start their metal band.
Yeah,
because that's what they look like.
Or a grunt. They look like grunge singers more.
Yeah, I feel like they could go into either and
be accepted. And thrive. Sure. Mm-hmm.
It's just what a movie.
What a satisfying movie.
It really is.
What a wonderful, satisfying ending. When he gets out of there initially, before he goes back, it's like, oh, well, I suppose you got out. That's good.
Yeah. But then, damn him, he's like, I got to get back in there. I got to
save
Alice.
What a great kid. What a smart kid. And he definitely
was so
shows how smart he is
thing.
through the whole movie. All the clever shit he does. Electrocuting the dog, once he touches making that chain. Yeah.
That's what it
Very
made, like,
smart.
Everyone was on their game. So even the ones who like developed the character and just put in those like few touches, but made sure to keep them consistent. And all we had to go by was that his sister mentioned at one point in the movie that he wanted, or Ving Rhames' character did, that he wanted to go to medical school. Yeah. So it's like all it did was imply that the kid's got some smarts.
He's a smart kid.
And that justified every single one of his actions in such a well done, like smart way. It was such an easy way.
I also think that it's worth noting that this is one of the first movies that I can think of to turn the idea of a home invasion on its head, where, the ones doing the invading are the victims.
Right. Yeah. Where it's like you done invaded the wrong home.
So you think of like Don't Breathe again to bring that up, with people robbing a place. And that definitely owes a big due to this movie. Because it's talking about, impoverished people drawn to crime because it's their only way of, because they have been beaten down for so long by
these very specific people.
By these very specific people, yeah.
Little do they know that everyone who's been disappearing from the neighborhood and kids who have been disappearing, it's because they kill and eat them.
Yeah, and it's very smart to make the mommy and daddy, the people, their landlords, and then having, shitty practices, because that's a real fear.
That is a real topical issue.
And they are the real villains.
Yep.
And Wes Craven definitely had all this in mind when he made the movie. And I mean, yeah, it's a white guy making it, but I think he does do a good job.
I think so.
And makes the characters and the situation seem relatable and plausible.
The fact that he specifically chose those two from Twin Peaks, based on Twin Peaks, that tells me that he had the right mindset from the get-go.
That's true. Because yes, if it was anybody else, it would have totally changed the tone of the movie.
Yep.
And probably made it way less fun.
Because they were camp and very funny, but without being overly so. It was just so...
There was a real menace to them.
It was so expertly like woven in with their just general character and their characteristics, where it made it safe to like laugh at some things, but you were also like doing the sort of nervous laugh, like,
yeah, like these are some fucked up people.
These people are nuts.
Yeah, they do a nice job of balancing that, and I see why. I guess I see why maybe it didn't work for some people, because maybe that balance doesn't feel right for some. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe seeing some of this stuff and having kids be involved in it was too much. I mean, I would say a lot of it's suggested. Like there's some sexual violence, like rape kind of stuff that they suggest.
Oh yeah, there's one
daddy
obvious scene that's very clear where being suggested.
Mommy is basically threatening the daughter with that. Creepy. Distasteful. Anything else to add about this movie?
It's obviously, it holds up. I obviously still very much enjoy it.
I don't mind watching this every 10 years.
I was just going to say, even if I don't watch it again for another 10 years.
It'd be nice if the stuff that happens in it wasn't still so topical, but...
Let's hope not. Methinks it probably still will be, but that's just my pessimistic view on everything.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. So, Jamie, what are we doing for our next movie?
What are we doing?
We're doing A Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, yeah. In theaters. A Knock at the Cabin, now in theaters. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it now in theater? It's out, right?
Yes, I think it's because out. Karen went to see it last night.
Oh, what'd you think?
I don't know.
Well, I'm curious to find out. A Knock at the Cabin is based on the novel The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, which is one that I like very much. It is made by M. Night Shyamalan, who has had a pretty uneven track record of late, but we'll see how this goes. It stars Dave Bautista and Rupert Grint. Also,
Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff, that's right. I don't know who the other dad is, but Jonathan Groff is one of them.
Yeah, I only remember him from the trailer.
But we're excited about it. I'm excited because I like the book, and hopefully it will be good. I'm at least curious to see what happens, how they change it, because I've heard it's a little different. Because the book is dark. I think I talked about it a little bit on the last. Oh yeah, woo! It's dark and it's very ambiguous. So I don't know how that's going to play out for M. Night.
He's such a all over the place. It's almost impossible to go in with any sort of expectation of anything.
I saw on some website a ranking of his movies on Friday, and I did not agree at all.
What was the number? Well, what was number
1
2?
Was Signs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, that's curious. Yeah, well.
Exactly. And Visit was way further down than I would have liked it to be.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say there have been far more misses than hits, but...
I agree. But the hits have been really good.
But, yeah, they haven't been bad.
So hopefully this will be one of the hits. We shall see. Then again, we've had a lot of movies we've liked lately, so we're probably due for a stinker.
That's true.
Unfortunately. But on the plus side, we are going to review Heavenly Creatures for you.
Finally.
Yeah. It'll be after the next one. So sit tight and wait, and we hope you watch that before we review it, if you haven't seen it. Because it's a goddamn gem.
Yeah, spoiler alert on how we feel about that one.
Well, that's why we're going back and talking about it. Usually it's not like, boy, I fucking hated this movie. Can't wait to talk about. Let's go back and revisit it.
No, it's definitely not usually like that.
No. Though if you wanted to do something that you hated, I guess I'd be okay with it.
No, I'm not interested in that.
I didn't think so. Well, this has been fun. I enjoyed rewatching this.
Me too.
We had lots of fun. I hope you listeners have watched it and enjoyed, and if not, you are inspired to go watch it now. Watch it! Do it now!
Do it now.
And we hope that you'll join us back here in 2 weeks' time as we talk about A Knock at the Cabin. And until then, I've been Amy.
And I'm Jamie.
Thank you for listening, and good night. And please give us a review and a rating. We'd love that. It would help us to get more listeners.
Do it, like she says.
Thanking you in advance, us. Okay. Goodbye.